There's some big extra developments this week for Roxanne thanks to a new interview, so we'll check that out. We'll also see what's going on with Finn, Roman Reigns, and more. Starting things off with a bit of fan concern for Roman Reigns. Fans quickly noticed that Roman was wearing something he usually doesn't wear, and that was an elbow pad on his left arm. Roman never wears that to wrestle, and never wears that for non-physical appearances. So to see him with it on all night on May 25th, that definitely stood out to fans. Before that specific edition of Raw, Roman last competed at Backlash, but he's been involved in several brawls with Jacob as of late. So seeing Roman with that elbow pad had fans wondering if he'd gotten injured during one of those recent brawls. There's been no reports or rumors about Roman battling an injury, but the elbow definitely doesn't seem like a fashion statement. It seems like he has it on for a medical reason. But due to no solid information being out there on this potential elbow injury, the only thing the fans can do right now is unfortunately speculate. But no matter what his condition may be, the positive thing is that, of course, he's still cleared to compete. It wasn't an injury to fully take him out of any matches. He's still working through it and competing, so hopefully that itself is a sign that it's not that bad of an injury after all. As far as what's going on with Roman right now, he's still pretty early into his heavyweight title reign. He's been appearing on every single episode of Raw since the Raw before WrestleMania, and that's the first time we've seen him on a full-time basis in nearly 4 years. So Roman said he was going to put the part-time conversation to a close this summer, and he has absolutely done that so far. No one can complain about him never being on Raw as world champion because he's been there every week up until this point so far. Of course, the big question there is how long can Roman keep up that full-time schedule going for? Judging by his comments, he was going to go full-time throughout the summer. So does this mean Roman returns to a limited schedule after the summer months? And will they take the World Heavyweight title off of him at the end of this full-time summer schedule? Those are the big questions that are lingering around right now. WWE has hinted Roman vs. Oba and Roman vs. Seth in recent weeks, so maybe those are a few matchups we see before the end of this title reign for Roman as well. Let's now dive back into the whole situation with Roxanne Perez, because on top of what we saw this week on Raw, we got some bonus material for this storyline due to a recent Complex interview. A big recent event for Roxanne's character in WWE was obviously the removal of Finn Balor from the Judgment Day. We haven't heard Roxanne really say much of anything about Finn's removal from the group on WWE TV. It's mostly been little, subtle hints given to the audience that implies Roxanne did not enjoy what happened to Finn. But here on this interview with Complex, Roxanne went into great detail about her character mindset with the whole entire Finn Balor and Judgment Day situation. Roxanne had this to say about that matter, quote, "In case people don't remember, I was actually not around when Finn Balor got taken out of the Judgment Day. I actually had no idea this was going to happen. It definitely made me feel a kind of way when I came back to the clubhouse and realized Finn was gone and I had to watch what happened to him. Mostly because we do say we're family. Judgment Day is a family. So part of me did feel a little indifferent when I saw the initial attack. But honestly, I had to sit and think about it. And as much as I wanted to empathize with Finn Balor because he did see something in me and he did bring me into the Judgment Day, I kind of questioned why he brought me in the first place. Was it because he saw how good I was, or because he saw me as a pawn? I don't know, so I had to do what was best for me, and what was best for me was standing alongside the Judgment Day." End quote. This was an absolutely amazing answer by Roxanne that really actually gives more context to her character's recent mindset and actually adds so much detail to her storyline. This was such a great explanation that it feels and sounds like something that definitely could have been said on WWE TV. But Roxanne was right in everything she said there about the situation. Finn right now is a heroic babyface, and even if he got kicked out, he visited Roxanne and warned her to leave as well. But just because he's doing heroic things right now doesn't mean we forget how Finn was moving in 2025. Because Roxanne is right. Finn never really brought Roxanne into the group because he was amazed by her potential. It was clear as day that Finn only brought her in as a pawn piece to create tension between Liv and Dominic by using Roxanne. We literally saw months worth of Finn pushing Roxanne towards Dominic in romantic ways. So it's nice that Roxanne isn't trying to erase that part of history. She's conflicted because she looks back in retrospect and has no idea if Finn ever believed in her at all, or if he was simply using her for his own agenda and nothing else. So that's why Roxanne is moving away from Finn's removal from the Judgment Day, because she's remembering that he never really believed in her to begin with. It was all a game. So that fact is making it easier for her to get past what happened to Finn. But even if Finn truly was using her at the start, Finn's warning to Roxanne after WrestleMania 42 was genuine. Finn thinks she does have to get out of there. And we'll see how long it takes for Roxanne to realize that Finn was at least right about that. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below, don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.